the worst of the worst when it comes to wokeness, because now he's talking about how Asians are a problem. And at a certain point, I want to ask people like Killer Mike, hey, if you can't get along with any communities, you know where I'm going with this, at a certain point, could it possibly be you?
We're back. I had to take
you guys let me know. I'm with the show.
And yeah, we had court done. We had all our shit. Let's get some donations. Yeah, Clav is a fucking
relationship
queer.
between YouTube and Crowder has been heating up. In this country,
about as
all
gay as
people
you can
are
get.
equal before the law. But in a few short years, all peoples around the globe were electrified to learn that what Fox dreamed of, but could not accomplish, came to a thundering realization with YouTube's lightning-like targeting of conservative voices.
This show, Mud Club and its viewers are linked together in their cause against pig technology, and their creed will defend to the death your right to free speech, fighting for the cause like good comrades to the utmost of our strength. Mud Club shall go on to the end. We shall fight on the YouTubes. We shall fight on the Twitters and the Instagrams. We shall fight with unwavering confidence and growing strength, even in the face of demonetization. We shall defend every channel, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight against the liberal media. We shall fight in the quarantined Reddits. We shall fight at the TED Talks. We shall fight with our retweets and our likes. And we shall fight with all our jokes and with every irritating, distasteful sketch. And we shall never, ever surrender. And if, which I do not for a moment believe, this show and its supporters were subjugated or shadow banned, then our Mud Club, beyond all YouTube, armed and guarded by the Kraken, will carry on the struggle until in God's good time, the new, free online world with all its power and might steps forth to the rescue and liberation of the cancelled.
We're getting wood box.
Click Rumble Premium and join now for $99 annually or $9.99 a month to get the entirely ad-free experience and an ever-expanding roster of content, creators, and free speech.
I haven't ran around this whole map yet. Now, bitch.
Yeah, 130 and 9. He has a 130 IQ. Knew it.
What's the 9?
We don't need to talk.
It's unfair.
Yeah, it's unfair.
You can't have two gifts. You get one gift.
That's how it should work. You don't when you take your kid, you're like, you know what, you can get a birthday gift. You don't just give them the whole Toys R Us. You pick out one.
Yeah.
You know, like you just have the whole video game aisle.
I feel like that's selfish.
You have been touched by the fist of God, son.
I'm 5'6", so there was a little trade-off.
I wouldn't say little.
Would you take a few of those inches and move them?
Captain, you gotta fight and claw for those inches.
Would you, Gerald? Would you move some inches?
I'm happy in both places.
All right. Captain
look
Morgan,
like it.
CEO, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
How are you? Not as good as 130 and 9.
No,
okay.
you know,
I can't afford to shift any of my inches.
No.
I need it max everywhere I'm at.
I am very efficient with my Wednesday 24th of June, Ashley Improv in Dallas, Texas. Josh Byers.
time. In this year, the year 2000.
Of our Lord.
Yes, the year of our Lord, who very much has blessed Noodle.
Yes. We all
And
can agree.
entered he the jacuzzi.
Bubbles spill forth upon the floor.
That's right. And in the changing room, as Gerald gazed upon Noodles, in his anguish cried out,
What the fuck is this?
that the Lord was an unfathomable.
Stop. Man, I didn't say that. But
No,
That's a fact.
there are some people though. You ever just meet
Something's
someone?
going
Wow, you got
on.
all the things.
Yeah.
You're good looking.
The
You're
South
athletic.
African
You're
guy.
athletic. Yeah, the South African guy.
that's
Life's
the guy.
not fair, guys. It's just not. This is one thing too. I don't know. Like, you have people in the feel good left who try. But answer this. Comment below. Do you think life is or should be fair? Because raised as a Christian, too, like, oh, you know, it all works out. No, it doesn't. It doesn't always work out. The key is being okay with how things work out and controlling everything that is within your purview. Being able to face yourself in the mirror and say, did I do everything I could do? Did I work as hard as I could? Did I explore every option? Did I take advantage of every opportunity? Did I use every gift that I had? And then sometimes you still come up.
So, you want to hear what my lawyer said? So, my lawyer said my charges are probably going to be dismissed. And the thing is, people test people and they don't like the outcome. Yep. The thing is, like, my cousin is the DA in fucking Des Moines, Iowa. She was the DA of Maricopa County before. So literally, like, we're good fucking people. I have one cousin that's a ballerina, and another one that's a fucking model agent slash fucking, yeah. They're all in New York City. The other ones, Becca and Beth. Like my half sister's a fucking EMT. Like, I'm pretty sure she's the head of it all down in fucking. Whoa, what name? The DA. Her name's Rachel Radcliffe. She married a guy named Radcliffe. Yeah. The Shirleys. If you look up what is it called? Henderson, Iowa. Jane Henderson is whose family set that city up. They used to own all the property, like, to the okay, so this guy named Jeremy Radcliffe, I know of a Jeremy Radcliffe, of one of my close friends that I was in high school with, but it's not that guy. So, like, this other guy, he's from Arizona. He was John McCain's right-hand man. So, yeah, she married that guy down in Arizona, down in Phoenix. Actually, she married, okay, my cousin Rachel got married while I was in prison in 2006, I believe. Or wait. Yeah, because my aunt died shortly after. Her mother died shortly after. Breast cancer. Kind of crazy. Oh fuck, I forgot a box in here. Oh, I didn't go into that side yet. But yeah. The Shirley is like SCH. Oh, do ya? Schlee, Shirley. If you look up who the Republican representative of the state of Iowa was, it was Bill Shirley, and that's my uncle's dad. Literally, like they're best friends with they're best friends with the Bush family. So I got to meet them at that house. It's fucking nuts, dude. The farm. Send what? What do you what send what? What are you trying to send? What do you mean sending? Oh, receipts? Okay, so you want me to show you? As soon as I get out of here, we'll pick off this thing and show you. Look, I got 2 free guns out of that. I'm trying to beat the Reaper on the VIP, so I can send a bunch of shit home, or send a bunch of stuff, so it'll just stack up there. Your other account. Okay, so are you able to get into the Gmail? That's one thing. Are you able to get into your Gmail on that account? All right, so in your Gmail of that account, you'll have purchases, any purchase that you had before. It'll go back. You'll have receipts there in your emails, and then the thing is, you can consolidate them, and you can show your account activity there, which literally they should be fucking helping you with. So that's how you would do it. So put in your search bar like last day on Earth shit, and then it'll come up. It'll go your receipts, and then screenshot your receipts and then send them via text through the message thing when you're talking to the developers, you know. It'll have an attachment thing, so you can send pictures and shit. So it'll send your last pictures. It'll be easier because it'll pop up, and you'll just do the first one, and then do the second one, and then do the third one, and then just do one at a time. Don't overload it. It'll just crash your device when you go to do that. Your ID. Your Google ID. So you want to touch the buttons. So on your screen you'll have like left and right. So right up here will be your little button. So you touch your thing and it should come up, and it should say like receipts and history. And it could say play history maybe, if I'm not mistaken. What the fuck? Since I got this different screen on here, my phone has not wanted to accept. Okay, so we're probably going to be going through some meds. Oh, fuck me. Alright, so I have 2 of these. I need those. Let's go send this back before I can't. Dude, stand on it, bitch. That should work. I'm gonna die right here and lose everything if I don't do new armor. Raider armor. This shit's really good, actually. So if you got a bunch of this Raider armor, it's the same as SWAT. No. Motherfucker. Not today, bitch. All right. Yeah, I was told that the charges might not be able to be reversed onto that fucking person. So I'm hoping I can get something out of it. Or damages. Because literally, like, if I'm feeling that I can't leave my fucking place because I'm going to be in trouble, no matter what, then we got some fucking issues to handle. Because I shouldn't have my integrity fucking destroyed or tested because some cunt wants to fucking act like she can touch my fucking video cameras anytime she wants to. Or like, you know, last time I know, when I touched somebody's property, I fucking went to jail. Or try to stop fucking security cameras. You fucking take down somebody's security camera, dude, it's fucking... Because you're trying to do something illegal. That's the only way. That's the only fucking reason. Only reason why people do that. Alright, so let's collect our gas. And let's watch some Crowder.
That's okay. Them's the breaks. It's a learning experience. Speaking of learning, Ian McKellen hasn't learned the art of self-awareness. He's the gay theater actor who played Magneto.
You shall not pass as well, right?
That's right. I forgot. That
James
of course
Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White.
And with the white, I prefer the white.
Gandalf the gay.
Don't.
He is
Well,
gay.
that makes sense.
He's a homo.
Yeah. Who knew that the Shire was wholesome street fair? So Ian McKellen, not self-aware, he told an Italian audience how he motivates himself to destroy things, or how he did when playing Magneto. And this passes for comedy.
Cavicular is a person that he does that love maxing shit. He literally got loaned a fucking bunch of money and got straight fucking smoked and sucked off by these fucking Jews, and to open up a club down in Miami. So now the club is attached to his name, but the club isn't his anymore. They kicked him out of there because of his drug use. Kicked him out of the ownership of his own fucking nightclub, which last time I checked, we sold our nightclub for $1 million fucking dollars. Whoop, come on, fucker. Alright. So my dad owned a nightclub. Where's my key? Ah, fucking A, dude. This thing it didn't even get hot. So, this nightclub right here, this is called the Run Bar. Actually, I'm gonna find my workout. I got my pass and everything, so this is my workout pass for here. So, this is the Run Bar. Alright. These are the VIP tabs. They're all numbered. Right here. This is number 65. This was my dad's gay nightclub. It's still open today. It's called the Omaha Mining Company. We sold our nightclub for $1 million. It was 990-something thousand dollars to fucking sell, and it took them 9 years to pay off. Nickel and dimed us with shit, but whatever. We didn't care. We were just so glad we got rid of it. Got it out of our hair. It was just a business to flip, to make fucking profitable and everything, and then flip it all. My dad was so on point with shit, it was crazy as fuck. What do you mean? On what account? Okay, so Cavicular is a kid that has he's known on fucking Kick. I don't know if he's on Twitch. Last time, he probably is. He does that fucking faggot look maxing shit, which all he's doing is being metrosexual. And the thing is, most of the metrosexuals are fucking gay. I know, because I got called Metro, and I went, nope, I am not. I will kick your fucking ass if you call me a faggot. I just took care of myself. Just because you take care of your fucking, yourself, your health, whatever, isn't look maxing. Take a fucking hammer and bash your face in with it. Then this guy gets plastic surgery for his faggot nose. Like, come on now. Doesn't make any sense. And the motherfucker's ugly as shit, too. And I'm one to talk. Because I'm not the fucking best thing in the fucking world. But granted, I'll tell you this one. I can protect you fucking better than fucking Cavicular can. As a man. Because that motherfucker can't protect shit because he's a pussy. Biggest pussy in the world. Can't throw hands, can't do nothing, can't protect shit. The worst kind of a man is one that can't do dick. And doesn't know how to do anything. That's literally why you go to trade school and you go and you fucking pick up tons of different trades. Learn how to do a fuckload of different shit. Like I'm a certified fucking loader and shit. Like I can go and fucking load anything with a fucking giant loader. I fucking miss that stuff. But if my legs would work, some type of semblance with my fucking spine, you know, like if it could just like, you know, pop back into fucking, you know, and be okay, but it's not. And it probably won't ever. I'm in excruciating pain all fucking day long. But I don't let it affect my ability to be a good person. I might snap sometimes at some assholes, but other than that, it's good to snap at people that fucking want to take advantage of you and walk all over you. People shouldn't fuck around to find out. And that's one thing, like, learn how to live on your own and be comfortable by yourself, and it's only you. Yeah, I can go out in the woods and build a house with running water, because I know how to fucking do all that. You become an oil field worker, you learn fucking tons of shit about pressure and fucking water lines and how far you need to go and what kind of angle you need to have and what kind of a feedback loop you need to be on and all this shit. It's experience that you won't ever get unless you go and do it, unless you do the job. But if people don't do the job, it's not gonna be fucking, you know what I mean? We got some fucking superheroes. good shot, you know? Kaboosh. So we're going to be ending around in about 30 minutes. I just wanted to come over here and hit this one and see what kind of loot it had over here. I usually will just come in, grab what I need, and leave. It's no use to just sit there and keep trying to get stuff that you don't fucking need. It makes no sense. Okay? So just like there's a stone thing, we don't need that. Come over here. And there's gas. This is why I came through here. Here's gas here. So we got 3. I think I got it. What do we put in a bike? Alright, since our bike's not near us, now we're gonna go run out of the map. Because I think we can just run out the map now. If I can find a place to run out. Drinking my hot tea as cold tea. It's fucking killer. Not today. Yeah, it's gonna be like 90 something today. So. Come on, dude. Any fucking time. Now we gotta go and reloot this. Okay, so where's our Rumble account? I need to go back and watch the rest of this fucking Crowder because I'm annoyed.
These passes for comedy amongst gay females.
They got me to destroy New Jersey. And the director shouted to me, Ian, look more furious.
I don't know. Good question, dude.
Shout something, shout something.
Now, before you guys get all upset and say, hey, this could be interpreted as a call to violence and held to the standard the left tries to uphold you to, right? They try to say, hey, this is a threat to violence all the time. You go back to Gifford, you go back to Sarah Palin, and targets on the map. No, you understand, this is actually misinterpreted. Something he hates. Mar-a-Lago was just the name of a pretty lady. So, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I understand. I understand.
You can see how my jaw, how my shit's crooked. If I go to smile, my teeth hang down more over on this side than over here, so it's like this. And my jaw's straight, but this is my whole shit is sideways over here. It sucks. So yeah, it sucks.
Never Bin Laden?
No human traffickers?
No human traffickers? Just the guy who you don't like for some... I mean, I don't love George W. Bush. I certainly don't like his fiscal policy. Worst person in the world? Like, you've heard of Hussein, right? Like, you know what he did to people? That's all you can think of is Mar-a-Lago. It's just old. It's tired. It's about as tired as the Bette Midler counter UFC show at the White House. It was just embarrassing. This is the left. This is what they do. By the way,
you can add me. It's LuGuru2674.
Sent his lesser-known brother Chet, who we have on retainer, on a road trip. Made a stop.
I've tried to find you before and I couldn't find you.
Don't forget the Arnold Palmer.
What?
There wasn't a van or something?
No.
You take what you can get, okay?
It doesn't feel
And I
safe
get
back
it too,
there.
by the way. I was really into comics. I don't like the Marvel movies that much. I don't really watch them, but I was really into comic books as a kid. I have a pretty big collection. And I understand that, like, well, these people are actually some of the strongest beings in the Marvel movies.
Alright, so what I'm going to do now,
Kinetic powers.
I'm not going to go
Like,
back
actually,
there.
they can warp the whole
I'm going to
universe.
go
Like,
back there,
yeah.
but we're going to go
But if you
and
can't
pick
just
up.
like, if you can't roll a
shit
soft drink with
and
your
go
eyes,
there.
like if you still rely on
So,
a handicap accessible
I'm just
ramp,
going to bring a
I just
couple
don't think you're
things
allowed to
in.
be a superhero. I don't care how smart you are. Well, you gotta get into a room with magnets around you and put a helmet on, so you're like, oh shit, it's a crush on Cyclops. I don't give a shit. Cyclops.
Cyclops is a different character.
Yeah, but he used to be able to walk. He got shot in the back, So that's how he lost
We
his
gotta
also not a
take
great
a few of
origin
these
story.
over
It's
there.
not like, hey, he got bitten by a spider.
Let's
Gave
take
spider.
that.
Yeah, he got shot in the
Nope,
back and he didn't walk anymore.
Should have seen it coming.
So, yeah. But like, he can still have brain changes. He can still do that. He's off the chart on an IQ test, but I have to change his diaper like 3 times a day. I don't see your super diaper. Yeah, he went for a jog. Tree fell on him.
He makes you enjoy changing your.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I sense that this is humiliating for you. Clean it.
Can you imagine Mystique trying to turn herself into Professor Xavier? She's like, oh, man, I gotta roll everywhere.
Yeah, she just turns into him. It's like, it's a puddle of mountain fill. No.
I could turn it back into myself or just not go up the stairs.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I get it. All people have different kinds of powers, whatever. It's true. Being powerful, there's never been a nation, certainly last as powerful as the United States. It's always kind of funny to me when people talk about empires throughout history and how long they've lasted and their impact. I think history will look back and say, yeah, there's never been one more impactful than the United States. It'd be pretty hard to argue.
What the fuck was
because
that?
So much of the impact is unique to the United States.
What the fuck did I hear outside?
Culture that has changed the
I
rest
had
of
to
the
move
world.
my car because when they go and do like lawn care over here, shit'll fly up and then my car will be fucking covered in fucking
But you're gonna look back and go, wait a second. Without the
covered
United
in
we
fucking
wouldn't have
shit.
effective
Like,
electricity,
dude.
food preservation,
I'm gonna yell at the
telephones,
fucking
televisions,
Mexican dude out there
printing
doing the
press,
lawn work.
the internet. I mean, the list just goes. Now you're talking about being at the forefront of AI. You're living in Rome, right? The Roman Empire in the United States. Rome. That's what it is. And I think that sometimes is taken for granted because we live in a time where information is just so accessible, and so everyone's opinion is kind of put on the same playing field. Once upon a time, a superpower like the United States would not give a rat's ass as to the opinion of any other nation. And I think that's pretty important as we're applying it, by the way, to allies. That brings us to Israel. You said this yesterday when we were talking about President Trump, Israel. You see, look, there would be no Israel if not for the United States.
And Great Britain.
And Great Britain.
But yeah.
But there's no enforcement mechanism. The only enforcement mechanism is the United States. We can go back to the Balfour and all of this stuff. The truth is there is no military that can really protect anything, maintain anything in the free world today without the United States. So, President Trump talked about this, made the case, and he's right. It's time for the latest installment of They Don't Know What the F They're Doing.
They violated, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. I'm not happy with Israel. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
All right, so let's go to the first claim here. And all the references are available. We make them available every show, 11 a.m. Eastern. That's when we stream. I think the takeaway is Israel has done a lot of chest thumping. Say, well, we are not bound by this. Kind of trying to put the rest of the world, and certainly the United States, in this box, or sort of facing this binary decision of it's Israel's way or the highway. Well,
shaking the whole fucking apartment, dude. Like, why is it pound? Why are the feet so fucking loud? Why do people fucking stomp so fucking loud? That it's like a fucking, I don't know if it's like a behavior thing or what. It's like you're just fucking it's like a little kid stomping.
Beyond criticism. There's a third or fourth way.
That's what I hear.
But you know what? You guys are screwing up quite a bit. Maybe your approach isn't really panning out that well because you've been doing it for a long time and we're not seeing the results that you want or that we're satisfied with.
Make myself small. Alright, so we'll leave one of those there.
And specifically, more recently, without him.
No, we had a great relationship. We're talking about some end details. I didn't like that he did an attack based on there's a very minor little thing with some drones that were released.
Dude, that baby better not have just hit the fucking floor. I swear to God, I just heard that shit.
That was a vicious, that was too much. You know, you can do too much also. But
Some people make me fucking sick to my stomach, I'll just say that. Thought I heard a baby get slammed on the fucking floor. Some people are just fucking crazy here. Super narcissists. Most people that don't care about anything other than themselves. It's just like, oh shit, I can put that there. Come on, dog. So, I can't even say what happened the other night here. Like, I was like getting ready for fucking bed and shit, and then all of a sudden there's fucking tons of cops here. Because of some crazy shit. Yeah, it's literally crazy. Well, a dude got arrested for grape. I can just say grape. I heard some shit upstairs, but they're always fucking loud. Like, fucking louder than fuck, dude. Like, uncomfortably loud. Like, loud enough to be like, you go up and go, what are you guys doing up here? Are you guys, everybody okay? Is somebody fun get slammed? What's going on here? I don't know how this girl got approved to fucking move in here with her fucking neck tattoos and all her stupid shit. It is what it is, so. I'm gonna end a little early, so I go take up the old shit before my daughter gets here. Oh yeah, I need to go over here and collect this stuff.
effective relationship. Without us, without the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. If it weren't for the United States of America, with me, because Obama was the opposite, Israel would not exist right now. Israel would have been blown off the face of the earth, 100%. And every smart person in Israel knows that. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Every smart person. Well, I don't know. Well, I guess you're not smart. Bye. Have a good day. Here's the truth. That's verifiably correct. That's verifiably correct. And that doesn't mean that we don't benefit from, for example, Israel's intel or having an ally in the region. But that is true. Without the United States, Israel wouldn't exist. You're welcome. This is important to keep in mind. The critics, they have a valid grievance here. So let's go back to 1948. Truman recognized Israeli independence like it was 11 minutes after it was declared. They even have a town named after Truman in honor. So, then 73, obviously the Yom Kippur War. The United States resupplied the IDF with weaponry after the surprise attacks. There was like over 22,000 tons. Yeah, you can check the references of war materials that were airlifts larger than the Berlin airlift, just to be clear, took place in 48 to 49. But we've given them an incredible amount of aid. And I know that the defenders will say, well, especially when you look at the money we give them, it's basically earmarked for they have to purchase American weaponry. I don't care. I don't care about ratio. I don't care about their stock. I care about a nation being grateful and understanding that they have to fall in line with us, not the other way around. Then you go to more recent events. Yeah, President Trump can make that claim. 2018 withdrew from the JCPOA. Sanctions on Iran were reimposed. Now, Israel, here's the thing, too. Israel has... They try to play both sides of the fence. They go, well, Iran will wipe us out, and they're a huge threat. By the way, I do believe that. And I believe Iran, if they had the capabilities, would try and harm the United States, including innocent civilians. We all know that. Why? Because they've said it. But if Israel says that, then you would have to acknowledge that you only exist because of the United States. Either Israel can handle themselves because of their ambiguous nuclear deterrent, or they actually see Iran as a threat. In which case, Israel, you do need to work with allies. You can't undercut an agreement and go, we are not bound by this. Enjoy your nuclear deterrence. By the way, of course it doesn't work because it's a death cult. The Iranian regime would allow every last man, woman, and child of their own country to die if it meant wiping out Israel. I get it. It's not lost on me. We come back to the same impasse. Israel, you want to exist? You need the United States. So let me play ball a little bit. Let's go through some other examples. 2025. What happened there? You guys know we destroyed the nuclear sites, bunker busters, because Israel didn't have them. They said they didn't have them. We had a discussion with you, like, we need these bunker busters from the United States. You need them. But now you're saying, we are not bound. No, you're bound because you need their stuff. There's the binding. Makes sense? 46 to 24, we've given them over $244 million in military inflation. Now, that's not a ton if you look at it historically compared to, say, one or two giant spending bills under Obama or Biden, but it certainly is as far as military aid to an ally. And it would seem that, hey, Israel, if you don't need it, oh, we don't care. You want it, and we gave it. So now you reciprocate. How about that?
Yeah. Well, there has to be a willingness to work through this process with us, and I think at every turn they have shown, and I said this yesterday, with bombing the negotiations in Qatar, they actually took out the negotiators, I think even the day before, or during some of the negotiations that were going on, continually fighting with Hezbollah, even after we've said not to, continue to fighting with Iran, even after there's been a pause. You've started to see somebody who should go, hey, even if it's not in our best interest, our ally, the person that is protecting us, literally shooting down missiles that are heading towards us, said stop. Yeah, we should at least do that and try to find peace and not go, aha, no, we're not bound by that.
Right. And here's where I really think there's a value in Donald Trump doing this, because I can hear the critics now, well, shouldn't you have done that in the beginning? No. We can have interests that are aligned. For example, a neutered Iran. Yeah. That's best for us, that's best for Israel, that's best for Qatar, by the way, that's best for the rest of that entire region of the world. So as long as we were working in alignment, okay, that makes sense. Donald Trump is making it really clear now, our goals are not in alignment. And so if they're not, you're going to October 7th. Okay? Is our goal here to get to a solution, to get to some kind of stability? Or is the goal to keep going the exact way that you have been going? Because it hasn't worked out. There's an opportunity here to try a different direction. If Israel doesn't want to, then fight alone. Our interests were aligned to varying degrees, right? We can have a disagreement on that and have a discussion. Now, Israel is making it more and more clear that they may not be. And that's a dangerous place to be, Israel. That's not a good place to be. I would take inventory and start playing ball really quickly, especially when you take into consideration some of the other rhetoric here. Other rhetoric, motherfucker. Trump said...
Oh, he's talking about those others.
Yeah. He said, basically, who should deal with Hezbollah? This is a shot over the bow. This is him letting Israel know he's not happy with them. Just let Syria do it.
I'll tell you what, Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long, and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody. Because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses, and they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you. I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. Because to be honest with you, I think they do a better job of doing it. I didn't like where 2 hours before we signed the agreement that there was an attack in Lebanon, in Beirut. It wasn't like in the southern side, I did not like that. I let them know that if Israel can't do the job without killing everyone else, he'll do the job. Syria will do the job.
Yeah, also, I don't necessarily know that that's accurate, and I wouldn't trust Syria any further than I can throw. I understand what he's saying, though, in dealing with rebellion and in understanding how to kill people. Syria might give Israel a run for their money. As far as technical preparedness, well, here's Syria preparing. Yeah, technically.
Spit on my fucking screen.
Here's the thing. I don't know how you ask for more than people who are critics of Israel.
Straight shot out my mouth.
We need to sort of redefine the relationship here. Unless your position is Israel should have no right to exist, and they're doing child blood sacrifices and harboring pedophiles, all the conspiracy theories, all of the stuff. Israel is the center of the world's wrongs across the board and evil. Unless that was put back to the side. You're saying, you know what? I'm not a big fan of their influence over our power. It seems as though there's a disproportionate amount of influence and power, and I don't like the way that they're handling this. Can you name me a president who's been more clear in delineating and saying, you know what? There has to be a different way than this way. And we're not happy with the way Israel is handling this.
Yeah. According to the conspiracy theorists, the only president to ever actually stand up to Israel was assassinated. JFK. Right. They're saying JFK said no, assassinated, and then immediately after that they got what they wanted. That should tell you everything you need to know. That's the theory.
Yeah.
Donald Trump certainly has crossed that line.
JFK ever as bold as Donald Trump publicly on Israel?
Not at all.
I can't think of any, including the Democrats, including the leftists, who, by the way, secretly don't like Israel because they're Marxists. So they, at their cocktail parties, they'll talk about Palestine and how their heart is with those. But the truth is, policy-wise, no, none of them have really called Israel to the mat the way that Donald Trump is. This would seem to be the opportunity for us to find some common ground. Hey, you have a president who is approaching this quite fairly, but as of the moment of broadcast right now, no comments from the usual suspects, Tucker, Candace, the like. It's almost like they're being contrarian just for the sake of being contrarian. How about, hey, you know what? This is good. This is headed the right direction. Because I don't think that a lot of these people care. My goal is actually America to be better off tomorrow than today. Better off today than yesterday. And sometimes that means that our views are aligned with Israel, and sometimes it's not. Right now we're reaching that point where Israel might be going alone. That might make the most sense. I'm just wondering where all of these critics are, unless it was really just designed for clicks. Because this would be a good time to have that discussion. Now, all of this could work out flawlessly, clear. Or, as we well know with conflict, could be your worst nightmare. Time will tell. If your worst nightmare, your car has broke down because you drive a bus. The problem is, you can't stop the bus because you find yourself in the middle of a terrorist negotiation. If you slow down, all of your passengers will die and their blood will be on your hands. side. I've been inoculated, Josh. By the way, thank
Gerald walked into the office.
standards to offer month-to-month coverage for one low fixed price.
That's a wrap.
F you. Protect your vehicle from the unexpected. Go to carshield.com and code Proud for 20% off. The sun is going down and may never come back again. At least not for 30 days. I hope there's no vampire. How many more did CarShield ask for? A lot. A lot.
I don't know. We'll see. There's lots of nightmares out there.
Yeah, there are lots of
I'm baked up here.
I think it was one of the happiest days of my life. One of the happiest days of my life. Everything like birthday joke. No, it was the CarShield. The CarShield.
No, you're stressed out. Your hair falls out because of stress. Hair falls off. I used to go like this and my hair would come out.
They love it. They want more. I'm like,
I used to pull on my hair when I was stressed too.
Kind of buried for me. They're like, hey, we heard back with CarShield, but
Straight up.
oh no, they loved it.
yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Well, they like Steven.
No, they like iced tea. They're inoculated, Josh. By the way,
How's your lips doing over there?
Oh.
thanks for the raid. I get it.
Yeah.
So, Jon Stewart, and it pains me to have to do these segments because Jon Stewart was one of the best stand-up comics working, and he was one of the best hosts of The Daily Show when he originally hosted. It was always fun. I didn't agree with most of what he said, but he's always
I haven't
so
got to
funny.
see what
You
my
won't
numbers
find
are on
anyone
Kick yet, but I know I have like 15 followers over there.
And it used to be pretty fair.
So
Not anymore.
I'm not
So we've
too
been
sure on
discussing the
Instagram
violence,
what
the
I've got.
rioting of the left, you know, not
On
going down.
Facebook, I don't give a fuck about
School discusses with people. I will defend.
the people adding me as a friend on Facebook because I don't add people that
Does this from his ivory tower.
aren't my
His only
people.
counter, and the left, their only counter to all of these
Just 'cause
violent riots, protests, the billions in damages.
I don't need anybody
thousands
collecting data on me,
casualties, and dozens of dead.
even though there's
January
already
6th.
enough data
Does
on
the
my
left,
ass.
Jon Stewart, do you have anything other than January 6th?
My big toe itchy.
What else you got? Because we have like
That's how my
15
foot's itching.
examples
Oh.
since January 6th that were more costly, more deadly, more violent. What else you got? We can point to Ferguson. We can point to the Summer of Love. We can point to Jazz. We can point to Chop. We can point to Kenosha. I mean, take your pick. All of the violence on campus. Okay, we get it. We get it. You're going to reach back to January 6th, Jon Stewart. What else you got? We're not going to play this game. We're not going to act like there's anything even remotely close to an equivalency because January 6th isn't the way that you even tried to portray it. So here is Jon Stewart discussing the New York Knicks rioting, the celebration, saying, oh, you got it all wrong. It was mostly peaceful. And then reaches for ginseng. I get what they're trying to do. I get what they're trying to do. They're focusing on the bad stuff. To portray that the prevailing emotion and behavior in New York City on that Saturday night was one of chaos and barbarity. But I was there. You're lying. It wasn't. It was an overwhelming
in the streets?
sense of joy. Amount of crying and a lot of contact high. And we are just so sorry, right-wing media, that we in New York City couldn't live up to your definition of a peaceful gathering. Oh, no! You notice it's also like the same three shots we just had are all the more magical, where you feel the joy and striving and hope and, let's face it, aroma of the people that you live really too close to. The real division in America isn't between cities and rural areas or suburbs or heartland values and coastal elites or liberals and conservatives. It's between people anywhere who find joy in community versus those who seem to only find it in fealty. For the record, Jon Stewart lives on a 45-acre compound in New Jersey, so... But it's good for you folks. it's there, Stephen. Also, like, yeah, what are you talking? January 6th, they always do the same 3 shots. Okay, but let's even just address that one standard. It's not even close to how you guys tried. And it's really easy for us to condemn people who were violent January 6th. But they were a very, very small minority of the hundreds of thousands of people there, including some of the folks, by the way, who were tarred and feathered the most publicly. They were invited in and were adamant about remaining peaceful. You've never apologized or shown your audience this. This must be peaceful. That's the guy, the icon, QAnon shaman. The only thing he was guilty of was bad face paint. You can't even get him for trespassing. Anywhere else, when someone goes, all right, you can go and just keep it peaceful. All right, everybody, be peaceful. You'd at least, it's not even trespassing if someone lets you in and wands you. That's all the left has, is January 6th. And how many deaths? That's right. None except for one of the actual protesters. Right. Well, you can express your points of view on that another time. We've gone through that and whatever. What do we have from the left? Well, at least 2 per week as far as examples of public violence. In 2025 alone, there have been at least 100 demonstrations with reports, with documented evidence of violence. Now, to be clear, the stat doesn't really delineate between left and right. It's just demonstrations. If it was right-wing, it would be the new January 6th. They don't exist.
They would call out that.
They don't exist. It's the only one they can point to. And by the way, that required the stealing of an election. And if you said that didn't happen, okay, the perception of actual election theft. Let's go. You have January 6th? Okay, check the references. Link in the description. Make them available every single show. By the way, John Stewart, I encourage you to do that too. Ferguson, Chad's Chop, Summer of Love, George Floyd riots, the St. John's Church fire riot, the Kenosha riot, the 2017 inauguration. How many other Kenosha, Milwaukee, gosh, any others that I'm missing? By the way, the damages, if you just add these up, the big ones, about $5 billion, $2 billion was just George Floyd riots alone. Casualties, thousands, including anywhere from 30 to 46 is the most likely number. Dead. Dead! I get it, though. It's not as bad because you guys spread it out. It's a constant tone of violence. Let's just go since President Trump's second term, right? One that he won fairly at this point. You have the ICE riots, you have the Tesla fires, you have the takeovers from teenagers, from these students on campus. You have students being accosted, physically assaulted, in some cases for being Jewish, some cases for being conservative, some cases for being pro-life. The LA riots, the No Kings. This is mostly peaceful. We covered it live for you. Here's what that actually looks like. Joy. Just a contact high. Let's hope.
Tennessee pro-Palestinian shoving a Jewish girl as rioters chant globalized Antifada.
The suspected arson occurred early this morning. When police arrived, they found 5 vehicles set on fire or damaged, and the word resist spray painted on the front of the business. Columbia University says this demonstration at local libraries in May affected hundreds of students attempting to study.
And you know what? Let me go one step further here. Because what the left try to do is they say, I can't believe this is unprecedented. This is an insurrection because it's the people's house. I say that makes it less severe. Even the bad actors, January 6th. You know what I didn't see? Even at the worst of the worst, no deaths, no billions of dollars in damages, most people were invited in. What I didn't see was the worst offenders burn down a local business. I didn't see them pull their fellow citizen from their car and beat them to death. I didn't see them shoot any officers for trying to stop violent riots and protect citizens. I didn't see them trash a Walgreens. Do you actually mean to tell me you don't understand the difference in people being upset with their government they view as corrupt? Let's just assume they were equally violent. They weren't. You don't understand the difference in that being directed at corrupt politicians in what is supposed to be the people's house versus complete disregard and random acts of violence against any fellow citizen or passersby? You still can't find an example of that.
Didn't see any, hey, we got a Biden supporter over here.
Didn't see that. I didn't see, hey, you know what, let's just beat the shit out of our fellow MAGA supporters.
Do they light cars on fire, like along the way? Police cruisers, anything like that?
Yeah, none of those. No police stations set on fire with the police officers inside.
It's almost like, even if you were to take the most violent offenders, and let's assume that you believe they were wrong, it was the most free and fair election of all time, it's almost like they were genuinely, whether misguided, fighting for their country because they love it so much, because they want a good country for themselves and their fellow citizen, rather than assaulting their fellow citizens. It's almost like that would resemble righteous anger with government when we've seen it all throughout human history, as opposed to the left, who harms their neighbor. There's a very big difference between attacking your neighbor and joining arms with your neighbor to fight what you actually view as injustice. We see this on the left all the time. Black lives, hey, injustice, great. Well, wait a second. Why are you killing your neighbors in record numbers? It's about fighting the system and injustice. Okay, sure, but wait a second. Why are you destroying businesses in your own neighborhood? How do you fix injustice by being so violent, by being such a bottom feeder that they have to change the law to allow you to steal up to, give or take, $1,000 because it's going to happen anyway? How are you fighting the man? How are you fighting injustice by requiring them to put the razor bump cream behind locked glass at Walgreens?
And I understand being happy and celebrating, and there may have been a great mood, but how do you justify destroying somebody's car while they're in it? Celebrating with you, by the way. They were Knicks fans.
Right.
How do you justify burning a school bus? I don't understand what the school bus must symbolize to you, the man or the power to be, as you're celebrating a victory. And then how do you justify randomly beating up Spurs fans after they won Game 4, not just the championship in Game 5?
Yeah.
Like, how do you justify that as just being, it was just happiness and love and joy? Yeah. They had to send a silly Spurs fan up there just to make things equal.
Yeah, and I know they'll say, well, that's not necessarily left or right. That's just, no, New York is a left city, and they're enabled by a soft on crime approach.
Yes.
That's exactly what's going on. You could see police officers, they weren't able to do anything, their hands were tied. We just got to, hey, the left gonna be what it do. So, you got anything else? Leftists, anything other than January 6th? We've just given you a list. The billions of damages, the thousands of casualties, 40 plus dead. Anything you got?
We'll wait.
I'm all ears.
And while we're waiting for that, by the way, there's a new movie from Sean Penn, apparently, where they're going to be talking about one of the police officers. I don't think it's one of the Capitol Police here, so I'll say it. So Sean Penn is set to direct a film about the early life of a cop who goes on to be caught up in the January 6th Capitol riots. It makes it sound like this is one of the police officers that may have not been on duty that day, joining in on the riots.
What a fucking... What? Sean Penn's a bitch.
Go ahead, yeah, but they have zero capability of moving on anything else. So we're told the focus is on the subject's early journey, one that led him to later becoming an American hero in the ass meeting. Okay, it's not a January 6th movie per se. Nonetheless, given the still divisive terrain, the political climate, and the studio's potential new owners, it's a commendable commitment by Warner Brothers, which has had big success recently with bold original stories. Sorry, they're pretty small letters. Yeah. So I don't know. It just seems like they can't move off of this topic, because how do you think Sean Penn is going to portray anything having to do with the January 6th portion of that film? Retarded. Of course.
You know what movie I want?
Hey, yeah, that wasn't bad. It was just...
You know what movie I want? The Darren Wilson story.
Yeah.
Because people will talk about Chauvin and they'll say, oh, he was divorced, he must have been a dick. Darren Wilson, Mike Brown. Darren Wilson was a model police officer. As a matter of fact, Darren Wilson was offered an easier beat. He said, no, I actually want to be there in person. I want to be somewhere where I can reestablish trust, because the only way we're going to move forward is by a police presence being in the neighborhood and being a helpful one. In other words, he viewed it as, the problem is you have police in the neighborhoods with largely white people, and we just don't go into these areas because they don't like us. The only way we're going to bridge this gap is by having good police officers who are active members of the community with a regular presence. And he had a guy, Mike Brown, not a child as he was portrayed, reach for his gun and try and beat his skull in. And he was vilified anyway. In other words, when you get someone who does everything right, and he's an ally in the truest sense of the word, you still only see race, and you vilify him. Darren Wilson wasn't enough? There's nothing better coming down the pike, guys. I want to see the Darren Wilson story. How about that? How about an apology and a thank you to him because he had to leave and go into hiding? He did nothing wrong. He did a lot of things right, but he didn't have to. Speaking of doing things right, we don't take your money here. We don't take your rolled up dollar bills in our boxer briefs. We do reverse super chat. Today, it's the folks at Rumble Wallet. They're giving back some 50 free Rumble premium subscriptions. Just skip it in the chat. And by the way, Rumble Wallet is the easiest way, one-stop shop to manage your crypto. The link is in the description. If you were just gifted a subscription, hey, tag me, screenshot on X or Instagram, Rumble Premium. You get people joining every day. You get 100% more show. You get the Friday show. You get everything ad-free. And Rumble Wallet wants to make sure that you can experience it for free. So that's great. Now, there are other jobs for you to take part in to work your way through college. Go call your mom. This has been Reverse Super Chat.
Wait, was a male stripper go call your mom? Don't women call their dads if it's a female? Like,
it can go either way. Well, yeah.
What if they don't have a dad? What if the dad's gone?
Yeah, I don't want to rub salt in the wound.
Yeah, it's easier for a stripper to call their mom when she's the manager of the club.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't get on the phone. She just has to yell, "Hey, Ma!"
Yeah. Why?
This was a clarification. I wasn't understanding it. I just want to make sure. I don't want to be left out. I want to be a part of the conversation.
He's the kind of guy you look at the stripper like the mom who runs the program, C-section stripper. Like, you came from there.
Oh, don't make it weird.
You're so awful,
They're
Gerald.
rubbing their boobs against each other. Don't make it weird.
Gerald, just stop. It was sometimes be a little more sensitive.
I apologize.
Oh my God! Did you guys see on CNN?
Oh,
is that
no?
Is that that's not Barney Frank, is it?
No.
I'm trying to. That face is warped.
That's a cyst, right?
No.
Come on, that's not a
Is
nose.
that a schnoz?
That's no schnoz.
Talk about weird faces on CNN. All right.
That's got pus inside.
Sorry, it's very distracting.
It's a banana.
Oh, it's banana.
Yeah.
Okay, they also had a Barney Frank is dead, so if it was him,
Oh, yeah. That's right, he is dead.
Weird also.
It kind of looks like.
oh my goodness.
Actually, get your nose out of my
Yeah, look
business
at
and
a
my
smaller
nightmares.
over here.
They said it does 100% look like a Studio Ghibli character.
Chairman Clayton looks like Mark Wahlberg playing a chairman.
Who is Jay Clayton?
Right. Let's go on to this one. You guys know Killer Mike? Probably not. He's a hip-hop artist, doing some good stuff, and he's been dining out on that for a very long time. He's largely an activist. And sometimes people give him a pass because he'll say the right thing, and like he's a Second Amendment advocate. But then when you understand that it's very often only because he thinks the Second Amendment needs to be used for black people to protect against white people, you realize he doesn't have the ability to read crime statistics. And then, the more you listen to him, you realize that he is intensely racist and effectively wrong about everything. His latest tirade is about Asians and how blacks and Asians can't get along, but it's the fault of the Asians. At a certain point, maybe Killer Mike can ask, is it me? Time for Claim Truth. Now,
Answer is yes, it is.
yeah. First claim, and this we showed you this clip not that long ago.
We'll be done at 2:30. I'm just gonna do a couple runs up here. We'll bring one of these with us.
Chow time. It's chow time. His move is like chop suey or something.
Yeah.
He has two sticks.
His secret weapon is, chopsticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, me too.
Rick Chow, shopkeeper, he protected himself. He shot a young black man, and he got off because it was self-defense. So this is the jumping off point. Killer Mike, this is showing us a problem with Asians and blacks. They can just get away with anything. I saw a black child, South Carolina.
had a gun.
Running showed I don't have the news chased out of that store.
No,
we got his back
in his pocket.
He killed. Nothing is changed. Nothing. That man was let off the case.
Here's the truth. A jury found that Chow had defended his son's life. And here's some other details we didn't.
Come on, Holly, let's get it. Come on. Yeah. Oh, fucker.
The young black man pulled a gun on Chow's son after they chased him. They thought that he had stolen something. By the way, they have been robbed many times at gunpoint at the store, as many shopkeepers, bodega owners are. Chow shot Belton, young black man, in self-defense. Now, here's the other thing that Belton did. Chow then rendered aid to Belton while his son called 911. He even kept the young black man's airway clear by sucking the vomit out of his mouth, and then immediately cooperated with authorities. All of this was known by the jury, to be clear. Also, Belton had a gun. So it comes down to his word against his word. He said, she said. Black said, he said. And you look at one who seemed to do everything he could to try and save the child's life in an unfortunate situation. These things happen, especially someone who's been the target of violent assault, or the victim of violent assault, as this shopkeeper was. So that's what actually happened, by the way. But he uses this as a jumping off point to make broad generalizations while accusing white people and Asians of being prejudiced. Let's contrast that with Carmelo Anthony. Anthony was somewhere he shouldn't be, was asked to leave. He stabbed someone in the chest when asked to leave. Maybe he was gently pressed on the shoulder after asking 15 times, and then he tried to dish the murder away. Not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. This is a jumping off point to go to all the other claims from Killer Mike. So put him in the same category as Bill Maher. Occasionally he might say something that you think has him coming around. He's not. He's not. This guy is obsessed with race. And the more you watch any of his previous content, a very hateful person. Here's the second claim. Is that Asians always see black people as beneath them, and that's a problem.
It's not enough to just hate this person. It's not enough to just hate the Asian store and burn them down and boycott them.
Well, that was never enough.
And I do think all of that. I'm at a point now where it's enough. We can't fuck with y'all. Y'all don't fuck with us, and it's obvious. And we are put in a position by a bigger master to be taught not to fuck with each other. So you as the model minority always see us as beneath you.
Now, by the way, just to be clear, I understand that might be hard to decipher because this is something people do. They try and create new, like, to F with somebody used to be, don't F with him. It meant to mess with somebody. Like, yo, I F with Coca-Cola, meaning I like it, but it also means I don't F with, as in I don't like it. Words have meaning and phrases have meanings, especially when it's already in idiom or colloquialism. So, what he really means to say is, I'm done being around Asians. And they're probably it's a completely subjective premise. Yes, think they're above black people. But let's look at this objectively. I can understand why Killer Mike might feel this way. Because black Americans and Asian Americans kind of started off at the same spot, pre-civil rights. And Asian American, having faced discrimination in a similar time, certainly the most comparable here in the United States, have outpaced the growth, progress, and success of black Americans for reasons that I guess are as good as mine. Let's take pre-civil rights Filipino rights, 39% less than whites. Filipino. That's very specific. Black earnings, 43% less than whites. Both right around 40%. That's around it here. Now let's look at the earnings data today. Filipino earnings, 14% more than whites. Black Americans, same spot, 39% less than whites. Wow. So you can just say, well, it's because they've been kept up. But they weren't? But this group wasn't? Here's the thing, you're crapping on the group that found a way out of it.
Surely if it was race-related, we would have held back the Spanish Asians.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Median household income today, Asian, $123,000. Black, $47,000. Hey, fatherless rate, Asian, only 16%. Black, 63%. Let's look at homework per week. Asian, no surprise here, they do 134 minutes on average. Black, 36.
They were only assigned 90.
Jeez. Look at the IQ, 115 for Asian. Black, 85. Look at percent of murders. Wow. that are being committed by Asians in this country? 1%. Black? 44%. How can you see this across the board? We're the same starting off point. In other words, none of you have a head start. None of you were given a handicap. How do they outperform you in every single metric? I don't hear them saying they're better than you and you're beneath them. I hear maybe you feeling that way. And you know what? I probably would too. If I looked at those numbers. Check the references, 11 a.m. Eastern. It's subjective.
Yes, if I looked at the data says that. The Asians aren't telling you that. The data is telling you that.
And there is an Asian named Data, and he would tell you that.
He would also tell you that.
After you fall into his booty trap.
You know what Asians don't have? Asian Americans? They don't have community leaders like Killer Mike. That wouldn't even get started. They're like, oh, we want to have a leader, or we'll call him Killer Mike.
No, I don't think we don't want to be associated with murder. Maybe Happy Summarily #1 Mike. Yes, maybe great ally to white American Mike.
We interned the Japanese and they're doing better than black Americans are.
And we interned the non-Japanese because they look Japanese.
Little bit. Civil rights, we've gone to war with Asian countries. Have we gone to war with black countries?
Right.
You don't put a bunch of
but here's the thing. It's always someone else's fault. So you look at the crime. You look at the business, the degree of success in business. You look at the fatherless rates. You look at the income. You look at the starting off point. No, it's never the black community and the leadership therein. You know, the Kamala Harrises, the Al Sharptons, the Jesse Jacksons, the Killer Mikes, the Jasmine Crockett's. We notice a trend. It's never that. It's never that there's a difference in priorities, values, and leadership with Asian Americans. It's they must be a problem and somehow they too must be oppressing you and you can't play well with them, because that's the ultimate take home from it. I highly recommend you go watch the whole interview. Here's the third claim that he makes, and it's absurd. I guess he thinks we live in like the 1950s still. He makes the claim that Asians need blacks as customers because they could never put a store in the master class's neighborhood. He actually says that. Here's the funny thing. I guarantee you most Asian Americans don't see white Americans as the master class.
Yeah.
Play the clip.
And yet you need us because you could never put a store in the master class's neighborhood.
Yeah, here's the truth. Asians set up their shops, businesses in largely suburban white areas.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you look at the Asian make up 7% of the population, about 11.5% of business owners, particularly in food, hospitality. You know, so they'll open up restaurants, they'll open up gas stations, bodegas, nail salons, predominantly in suburban areas, tech companies, white areas.
Military surplus stores.
Yep.
There you go.
San Jose, by the way, city with the most Asian businesses, black population, 2%. This idea that they're setting up shop now, at one point in time when they started off with the same disadvantage, right? 40%, an average lower income than white Americans. Yeah, that's where they might have set up shop in poor black areas because that's where they lived. The property was cheaper. They moved past it. Your community never has. And you know what? They never will. They believe your bullshit rhetoric. That's the big problem. Is people
Get
like
that meat.
Hey, Killer Mike, I'm not
You gotta
saying
get
black
all
people.
those fish.
I'm saying that
So,
thought leaders like you.
We're gonna call it here
are
in
the
9
problem.
minutes. So I'm gonna
They
get
set up
off
shop
for
in white
2:30.
suburban areas, sometimes largely
I'm gonna
areas, but
make a couple
they're
phone.
not
I gotta make a
thinking
couple phone
master
calls.
class, we
I
can't set
have
up shop in a
to.
nice suburb. It's just not a part of their thought process.
Motherfucker! Bam! We got a little gnat that's flying by me.
Not to mention the most valuable company in the world
Killed
right
his
now,
ass.
NVIDIA, owned by
So-
an Asian Jensen Huang. Huang, I always get it wrong. Joe,
Huang.
I always get it wrong.
I always get it wrong.
And you know who would laugh? The Asians who know I get it wrong. I'm like, oh, get it wrong. Oh, very punny.
Very punny.
Though it can be argued, he is tapping into some untapped urban markets now.
Oh. Gotta get my H100s, yo.
We set up right next to Booster Mobile.
Hurry up, I need to cash this check so I can buy some chips.
That's right.
Hell. You thought I was gonna buy Doritos.
No,
Stupid.
no more rookie you. No more rookie you. You window shop. You buy, you get out. Go back to Western Union. Now, let me ask you though. So Asian Americans started off same spot as black Americans. And I will say it is true when they were immigrants and they were poor, At one point in time, they were more so found or clustered in black communities. And then black people didn't like that they were sort of insulated. And then, as Asian Americans became more successful and they migrated out to the suburbs, guess what? They integrated more, and they've become more westernized and American. Here's why they isolated themselves and siloed themselves. When you're living in South Central, you better be around a bunch of other Koreans, because blacks aren't too friendly to you. A lot of hate crimes. Remember that? Here may be why.
Why when the victims? My friends are good Christians. I mean, we've been through so much, and to go through this, I mean, everything 22 years down the drain.
Many Koreans who yesterday were the shopkeepers of South Central Los Angeles today have lost the businesses they took years to create. 41 Korean businesses in South Central have been torched, dozens looted. In this overwhelmingly black and Hispanic area, Koreans own many of the small businesses. They're insular, they employ their own, they keep to themselves. Blacks say that's the problem.
I'm not surprised that the Koreans got targeted because their prices are high, their attitude is wrong, and they just don't seem to have any respect for the black community.
Well, why does it matter if they keep to themselves? Just leave them alone and you won't run into the ultimate sin, disrespect, right? He does have BET, don't you? Don't you have Black History Month? Am I wrong? Don't you guys have a bunch of for black people, by black people, need black spaces? It's just not okay when the Asians have them and they're, law-abiding? No one can have their own thing, according to the black leaders in these communities, except for black people. They can have their own thing.
That guy had a point, though. I mean, Five Guys is pretty expensive. I think we should burn it down.
Yeah, no, wait. I get it. I get it. They don't respect because they don't... Well, hey, they're poor at this point, so they're probably living in the areas where a lot of black Americans are. They want nothing to do with you. They wanted nothing to do with you in Los Angeles. Why? Check the crime rates. Even though Asians were poor, you didn't see the same violent crime rates. Guarantee you they raised their kids. Stay away from these areas. Don't wear red, don't wear blue, just stay neutral. I get it. You don't? It's for the same reason that you claim you fear white people, right? You guys say that even though we know it's not true, but just use that premise for your argument. Claim number 4 from Killer Mike, that blacks should now be finding Asians. I'm not super comfortable with the language, but I won't play his game. Let's hear him out.
And if we won't unite against them,
white people,
we won't unite for ourselves. Yeah, but if we won't unite, I mean, Asians and black against the master class,
white people,
then we can no longer fuck with y'all. Because
he's a slave
it's just
mindset.
not working. It's not working where you can hunt down a child
who has a gun,
and they let you get away with it 2 times in my lifetime. We should be finding you.
That's tough. I believe in our blood.
We should be doing.
First truth. There's not able to be Asians. They're not very Second truth. Is that I noticed the pandering when he panders to people as if they are stupid, he assumes that I guess he assumes black people don't understand the concept of work. Let me explain. He says
suspect arrested in this brazen attack on an Asian American woman is 38-year-old Brandon Elliott, a paroled killer convicted of murdering his mother nearly 20 years ago.
The continued rise in attacks and violence against our Asian American community is despicable.
A 55-year-old woman was punched so viciously on Bayard Street Monday night, she slumped to the ground unconscious as the suspect continued screaming.
Women in the Asian American community are remembering Michelle Go, tragically killed 1 year ago, pushed onto the subway tracks at Times Square with a train approaching.
61-year-old Simon Marshall is accused of shoving a woman into a moving subway train at the Times Square station.
Yeah, remember the Stop Asian Hate hashtag just moving down and disappearing like with the attendance record on Ed Rooney's computer? Let's look at the murder. Let's look at the murder percentages, the numbers. Blacks against Asians, as far as what percentage of total murders of Asians are made up by blacks? 20%. Asians against blacks? 0.4%. Now, a lot of the interracial crime statistics are no longer studied out of inconvenience, I would say. So they'll sometimes have the victim but not the perp, or vice versa. They're tough to find. So we have to get sample studies. Which are pilot studies. 2008, it was found to be the case that 85% of all assault crimes in the San Francisco area were black on Asian. All physical assault crimes in the Bay Area were black on Asian. Maybe that's why we don't want to study interracial crime statistics, because then people like Killer Mike wouldn't be able to peddle their bullshit. And who gives them a platform? Who acts like this is a brilliant thought leader? Here's another truth. Black Americans, they're one of the only groups that harms themselves, their fellow neighbor. Even if you look at criminal gangs and like the mob, awful criminals. I don't believe in romancing, romanticizing the mafia at all. They didn't kill people in their own community, generally speaking. You look at Asian Americans, you look at a lot of their gangs, it's usually inter-gang violence. They don't kill their own people in record numbers. Even the same thing with a lot of white Americans, even in poor areas. Poor areas, they don't have the same kind of murder rate. Black Americans, 90% of murders against black Americans are committed by black Americans. It's the only place you find that. So when people talk about how strong a community and snitches get ditches, or stitches, whatever it is, whatever stupid saying, that's when you treat that young black Americans, that's criminals grooming you to be a victim.
If you play it and you're in America, you play on the U.S. server. Don't play on the other ones.
90% of the time, we're going to be the face that shows
it
up.
takes
Black
a
American,
while,
90% of the time, and you better not let the cops
but
know,
it's
because then you won't be considered black enough.
it's pretty annoying. I'll just tell you that one.
Abortion?
So let's grab this guy here.
20 million at least.
I just grabbed the first. I just go to the first one.
It is a self-genociding, self-defeating community that wants everyone else to adopt their mindset.
It'll say U.S. Bell or something like that.
So now you have something. Imagine trying to explain black fatigue to an Asian American. They wouldn't even get. They wouldn't get the. Look. So here's what's going on: is a lot of Americans they feel that there is a significant crime problem in the black community.
Yes.
And especially with the riots that's been going on, that there's a racist wave, and so they don't want to be.
There's a tsunami. Yes.
Around the black community so much. They'll look at the culture, and so it's called black.
So we're about to go offline here. I'm grabbing these real quick. I'm gonna fucking kill that other deer over here. Oh, we got two. Nice. I gotta do the motel, but we're not gonna do it right now. Hey, give me something. Give me a grenade. Oh, fuckers.
Careful, hey, careful when you go outside. You could be next George Floyd. No, they're saying, do your homework or you end up like George Floyd. That's everyone. Killer Mike, okay. The master class. Because some poor white kid from West Virginia, he's the master class. Some lower middle class kid from master class. From some relatively poor kid, no offense, from Mesquite growing up. Yeah, he's the master class. Some poor Filipino in the 1960s, yeah, they're the master class. And you can't get along with any of them? Not white Americans, not Hispanic Americans. We heard Van Jones talk about that. Not Asian Americans. And you guys can't even get along with yourselves. 90% of your murders are committed by people in your own community. At what point do you just say, hey, there are plenty of minorities in this country. There are plenty of groups that have been oppressed, that have been, by the way, unjustly treated, and there are plenty of outliers. Your community, it's the only one that faces these same problems across the board. You are the outlier. Maybe it's you. Not all of you, not all. Just anyone who thinks like you. You know, the vast majority of black Americans who have podcasts or shows on cable news or BET or seen in the streets of Texas. Just those are the people I'm generalizing about. Not all. Just people who say the shit that you do. I want to be clear, because that was maybe it's you. Allow me to clarify, that was a rhetorical question. It's you. We're going to continue talking about this and more on Rumble. We're able to do this because we're supported by viewers like you. We'll continue. We're going to take your chat, click that button below to join Rumble Premium. You get everything ad-free. This wonderful hand-etched mug. Mug Club is Rumble Premium. Rumble Premium is Mug Club. If not, hey, continue watching Haley for free. We will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Did we have a clip of, was it Keir Starmer?
No, we can do that.
Just show it. Show it to him.
Yeah, all right, sure. Today is a big moment for our country.
You know what?
I'm not gonna need any of this shit on me when I come back, because I'm gonna do a raid. What I need to do is have these two pistols. Yeah, it's so much easier getting those wood boxes instead of fucking having to go grind for all of it. Alright, we're gonna be done for right now. I'll be back on in 3 hours. Yeah. I'll see you guys in a little while. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe. We're almost we need to hit 500 subs on YouTube, and we're at 215 on Twitch. So we need to hit 300, so let's keep going. It's taken a long time to just get 200 or just 15. But yeah, Kick has a couple, but yeah. I'll see you guys at 6:30. Peace. Chop chop.